A method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat.
Well, the government have been trying to block out the sun and been using weather manipulation techniques, but they didn't want to tell you because they didn't want to worry you. Oh, thanks for not worrying us. It's certainly not a conspiracy, though, is it? Hello there, you awakening wonders. Thanks for joining us today. You know the government, don't you? And you know how you can trust them, particularly when they're in alliance with global corporations and the mass media, and you sort of know that they're actually doing stuff that belongs in Simpsons episodes and David Icke's diaries, like blocking out the sun and creating weather experiments. Well, here's further evidence of the depth and breadth of these outrageous geoengineering, sun blocking out, tyrannize everyone schemes. Let's get into it.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat, in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. It's only stratospheric aerosolic injection. How could that possibly be regarded as a problem, except it was in the actual Simpsons?
Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. I will do the next best thing. Block it out.
Good God.
Imagine it, Smithers. Electrical lights and heaters running all day long.
Excellent. Here's Nicole Shanahan and Peter Kirby discussing it.
When we think about weather modification, there's really two sides of it. There's the climate side of it, and there's also the military side of it, the national security as well as the weapons portion. Based on your research, is what we're seeing today more of one or the other, or did one evolve into the other?
One evolved into the other. What we're looking at and what goes back into ancient history is geophysical warfare. This has always been a military project. It's always been a dream of military planners to be able to control the weather and to control geophysical conditions. I note in my book that there were instances of ancient armies diverting rivers or causing rivers to rise or fall, and then using that to a military advantage, as well as there was another instance that I stumbled across of someone causing a landslide to fall upon their enemy. So it's about using your environment. I mean, you know, it's like most people know that weapons are all around you in your environment, you know what I mean? And it's just a matter of picking it up and using it as a weapon. You know, that turns into a weapon. And so, you know, the environment is the environment. It's all around you. If you can weaponize the environment, you can use that to great military advantage.
Here's John Fleetwood writing about it on Substack. A team of researchers backed by billionaires and federal scientists planned a massive geoengineering experiment to dim the sun's rays and deliberately kept the public in the dark. That's not even deliberate irony. Internal communications revealed that the project's leaders wanted to avoid scaring local officials and the public as they prepared for large-scale tests involving the spraying of saltwater particles in the atmosphere over 3,900 square miles in an area larger than Puerto Rico, and presumably nicer. I like Puerto Rico. I'm just doing that joke because of, you know, the guy from Kill Tony doing it.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Doesn't this just generally make you believe that if it's possible for them to do it and they think that there's some advantage to doing it, they'll do it, and then they won't tell you about it because it's not that they're worried you'll be scared. Oh no, were you scared then? Oh my God, I hate the idea that you were scared. So you might be disobedient or disruptive. Why don't we immediately, right away, radically, right now, default to a position of disobedience? Mostly it's cowardice, isn't it? And laziness. It's the only thing that's stopping us overthrowing the government, and just a sort of slovenly inability. I'm talking about myself. Slovenly inability just to get up and get ready to die for what you believe in. The documents obtained by mainstream media outlet Politico through a public records request to the University of Washington detail over 400 emails, funding proposals, and text messages describing the plans. The university's Marine Cloud Brightening Program. It's a Marine Cloud Brightening Program. Who could possibly object to that? Well, anyone who looks into what it actually bloody well is, it's dimming the sun. Yeah, but it's marine cloud brightening, is it? It's a marine cloud, it's brightening, it's salt water. Who doesn't like that up there? Partnered with SRA International and the geoengineering advocacy group Silver Lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. Yeah, that silver lining is lead. And had already secured some federal funding while seeking access to US government ships and aircraft. At such scales, meaningful changes in clouds will be readily detectable from space, reads the 2023 research plan. Who cares if something can be detected from space? While the researchers offered no public notice of the project, internal text messages show they were carefully shaping the narrative behind the scenes. One August 23rd, 2023 message from project leaders advised, I'd avoid scaring them overly, referring to local officials. We want them to work largely on the assumption that things are a go. Manipulative, nasty little message. The same strategy extended to national press. In November 2023, a climate solutions report from NPR was scheduled to visit SRI headquarters. Ahead of the visit, Jesus Chavez, a PR strategist contracted by Silver Lining, sent a firm directive to the team. There will be no mention of the study taking place in Alameda. The message was bolded and underlined. Behind the scenes, the team was simultaneously coordinating with high-level government and billionaire actors. A December 23 email from Silver Lining's executive director confirmed that NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's head of chemical sciences at University of Washington, Dean, and a representative from Gates Ventures, of course he's in there, the private investment office of Bill Gates, were among VIP guests scheduled to attend a demonstration of the cloud spraying device. Gates has been a long-time supporter of solar geoengineering, funding numerous initiatives aimed at blocking sunlight to combat so-called climate change. There are so many things that we could do individually, collectively, ideologically, ontologically to alter the world. And the fact that we try to resolve everything physically and chemically shows that in many ways we're stupid to not recognise that what's required is an alteration in the prima materia of reality, at least as we experience it, consciousness itself. If you don't alter consciousness itself, you can't improve conditions by blocking out the sun. That's not it, is it? You have to change people's hearts and minds. We have to change. We are co-creators of reality. That's beautiful and terrifying. The same month, a donor report from the team noted that the project's full science plan had already been shared with colleagues at both NOAA and the US Department of Energy. The day before the team launched its small-scale test on a retired aircraft carrier docked in Alameda, leaders from Silver Lining, SRI and Accenture met privately in Salesforce Tower to kick off the next phase of our work together. The fact is it's sort of terrifying that these projects are really taking place because it's yet another conspiracy theory to conspiracy fact story. Think of the number of times you've heard people say, oh, it's implausible. Cloud seeding, chemtrails, blocking out the sun. These tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist whack jobs need to spend less time on the internet and more time individually, personally awake. And then you just find out, oh no, they are doing it. I mean, there's all meetings, schedules, text messages. I mean, it's all in there. Alameda city officials eventually shut down the initial test in May 2024, citing secrecy and a lease violation. The following month, Mayor Marilyn Ezzy Ashcroft demanded a deeper understanding, not just of this small-scale experiment, but of the science of this technology and where it's leading to. Yeah, I'd like that. The City Council voted unanimously to block the program from resuming. After the backlash, Silver Lining hired a new PR firm to manage the fallout. On June the 6th, 2024, Silver Lining's director wrote the team was weighing another run at the proposal. They'll get it done sooner or later. Of course they will. They always do. They always manage to because they are the Leviathan, and the Leviathan moves at a different pace. We come, we go, we tumble and fall insects to them. But eternity is accessible to us, and that's why we have to access that eternity in order to oppose this sort of peculiar false light corruption. Solar geoengineering encompasses a suite of hypothetical technologies and processes for reducing global warming. So now you understand what global warming is. Global warming is like the COVID of meteorology. It's a device that can be used to legitimize certain actions because they're protecting you from COVID or they're protecting you from global warming. They're protecting you. Their actions are undertaken in order to protect you, protect, control, protect, control, protect, control. They are largely unregulated at the federal level. Two of the most researched approaches include releasing sulfate particles in the stratosphere or spraying salt water aerosols over the ocean. But critics of the technologies warn they could also disrupt weather patterns, potentially affecting farm yields, wildlife, and people. So everything then. Even if they succeed in cooling the temperature, temperatures could spike upwards if the processes are abruptly cut short before countries have transitioned away from burning planet-warming fossil fuels, an outcome described by experts as termination shock. That ain't good. More than 575 scientists have called for a ban on geoengineering development because it cannot be governed globally in a fair, inclusive and effective manner. Whether the large-scale ocean test is still in motion remains unclear, but the documents make one thing certain. Researchers aiming to dim the sun, coordinated with billionaires and government scientists while intentionally shielding the public from their plans. So there you go. They lie to you and claim it's your own good. That's a helpful template. They lie to you and they tell you they're doing it for your own good. Just hold that as a lens when you look at information from now on. They lie to us, so it might not be true, and they're trying to control us while telling us that they're trying to help us. If you look at everything through that lens, then things will become, if not clearer, you will at least understand what's actually happening. That's what's actually happening. That's the end of it. There's nothing else to tell you. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. Remember, we stream at these times. Join us there if you can. But more important than that, stay free. Most coffee, all it does is it helps you to organise a stool in that inward back pocket you call the butt.